Hey, yo! Welcome back to the Nugget and Beyond. So we got a standoff that has now paid off to being a parting ways between, of course, player and team here. And this is coming from college football. Hey, you might be thinking, it's too early for college football as they don't go in the spring, but we have Nico Iamaleava actually skipped practice on Friday, the day before their spring game that they had. And this is all about NIL money. If you're not familiar with it yet, at this point yet, it stands for name, image, and likeness. Of course, you have these programs make millions and millions of dollars off of, basically, they're making them off the players and everything as they, of course, get media rights for TV and ticket sales and all that kind of stuff. And honestly, people are getting these players' jerseys, and a lot of them were wanting to get money off it. That's how it kind of all started. And it's definitely taken a massive leap, and the snowball is rolling and getting a lot bigger as we're going along here. And it's kind of, in a way, hurting but also helping. It's definitely a two-way road here. It's honestly, a lot of coaches are like loving it because they have massive amounts of money with their schools. And honestly, Tennessee is kind of in that category here, as we have actually with Nico signed a deal in 2022 that would be about $2.5 million a year with playing for Tennessee, as he would basically bank out about $8 million in his college career. As of course they always say, oh yeah, they're going 4 years, but if you're good enough, of course, you can get drafted before 4 years. But now, of course, had already the transfer portal opened up and closed, and we actually have now Iamaleava has had reports that he wants more money a year, which he wants about $4 million, which of course would make you that much richer, and that's of course what most of us would probably. Good 90%, 99.99% of the world is trying to do right now is get richer every single day, and you kind of don't want to blame him, but it's also like, come on, man, like you're kind of not known. Like, granted, he did lead Tennessee to the college playoffs, but we'll get to that. But yeah, they parted ways with each other, and it's kind of coming with some in some way backfiring kind of on, I think, Nico's side here, as he can't go to another SEC school as it is. And the SEC rules are slightly stricter than just NCAA in general, as he can't go to an SEC team because then he would not be eligible as their kind of deadline falls on February 1st. And also, SEC can't have another another QB come from an SEC school. Just in the rules that obviously they didn't. It's what they want. Yeah, we have Nico last year. He went for 19 touchdowns and over 2,600 yards. It was basically just ranked in the middle of the SEC. We all know usually that conference is basically one of the best in the country, if not the best, year after year. Big 12, Big 10, all that kind of stuff. But they're usually the schools that you see a lot of great QBs go to and come out of ranked Alabama, Ole Miss, Tennessee. We have, but yeah, this is definitely weird. But his backups, his backups is Southern California, UNC, and Indiana. Of course, hey, we just have a new coach for UNC. My guys down there for the Blue, and hey, the man's won 7 Super Bowl championships with arguably one of the greatest QBs in history. And he's made a lot of moves down there, so honestly, I would not be mad if he went there. But yeah, this is just gonna be kind of why the NIL has been so lackadaisical, I think, because you obviously have years ago you had the running back for Southern California, Reggie Bush, who actually basically he took money from signing jerseys and jersey sales when he was in school, won the Heisman, of course went on to have a great career, and he actually just got his Heisman back last year. And he was like, and everyone's like, alright, what are we going to do with Reggie, because he obviously, he's kind of not reaping any benefits that he could have reaped if he was now in college, which, well, I heard of someone go, hey, let Reggie go back to school for another year or so to get his, use his kind of, basically, he was the one who kind of started this, I think, in a way. But a lot of coaches are not liking this at all with NIL. It's kind of like, hey, if you're not even remotely one of the best in that year, you should still not be able to ask and continue to ask for more and more money. Like, go out there and get drafted, and that's where you make your money. We'll give you a couple $1 million. We of course have right now Quinn Ewers, who is one of the top. We have Cooper. We have Manning there on Texas. We have just a whole bunch. We have we just had the guy for that went for Miami, who now I think is he's not at Miami anymore because of the whole story with him and his girlfriend. But yeah, Carson back there. He think he's like getting like $10 million or something. He was gonna be like one of the highest paid for NIL out there. But yeah, a lot of coaches are like, hey, there's a lot of people that work a lot harder than you and are making a lot less than you. And a lot of them are probably making mid 6 figures, but that's still a very good amount of money, especially in college. And yeah, they're like, yeah, we're not doing this. We're not going to deal with you doing this. But some of these schools are just like, yeah, we'll give you the money, and that might be why he will be able to go to some of these schools. But in the end, a lot of the teams are on the side of Tennessee, as they're like, yeah, we're not gonna bend into this. They kind of need to put a break and like security on this a little bit and be like, hey, like, slow down. Let me know the money's out there. We're throwing it around. But in the end, it should just they should definitely kind of hold back a little bit at this point and be like, hey, you gotta be this level and you're down here. You're not. If you just crank up a little bit. If he was one of the top at SEC in Tennessee, he might also be getting drafted on the other end. But also, they might have not kicked back so hard on giving him another $2.5 million per year here. Yeah, in the end, let's see where he goes. He has 10 days as the portal opens up today. Yeah, so let's see what happens with him. It should be really crazy to see where he ends up, and of course he might be one of the storylines that he's definitely going to probably be one of the stories that come up this year to see if this whole thing was who won this parting ways situation with NIL, Tennessee or Nico here. So yeah, let's see what happens, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.